Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy and a pleasure as usual to be out here in nature and greeting you, bringing this message of self-realization to you, where I always point you to look inwardly to discover your true identity, to be your divinity. That's the reason why I want to speak to you concerning how to discover the good shepherd. But before I go any further, I want to let you know the basis of my teaching. The basis of my teaching is that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. That the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history. For it was written symbolically, and it have no reference to anyone that existed thousands of years ago or any actual event that took place upon earth thousands of years ago. From Genesis 1 to Revelation 22, it's all a great psychological drama. Therefore, I want to point you of how to discover the good shepherd. Now, in St. John 10, it tells you that I am the good shepherd. Now, the first thing I want to point you to is I am. Now, when you read Exodus chapter 3, you will come to discover that it is teaching you about the universal question of life. Because Moses means to be born. So it is teaching you that in your journey of life, that the day will come when you will ask the question, who am I? And when the answer comes, it will be I am. That I am. Which means I am whatever I believe myself to be. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the name of the higher self is I am. And whatever you add to I am would mean what you would reap, or what your reality would be. Therefore, whenever you use the name I am and say something negative or attach some negative connotation to I am, you are actually desecrating the name of your higher self. You are desecrating the name of your true identity, which is your spirituality, which is your divinity. Now, there are many who've been brainwashed in Christianity and believe that they can say I am and referring to someone outside of themselves. But you can never say I am and not referring to yourself. Therefore, whenever you use the word I am, you have to be positive. You have to affirm who you are. You have to affirm your greatness. You have to affirm that you are the Lord and Master of your own destiny, and that it is your thoughts that is creating your reality, and that you can actually create your reality consciously. So let us look at how to discover the true shepherd. Now, the greatest shepherd there will ever be is your intuition. Your intuition is your inside teacher. And when you align yourself to be led by your intuition to lead you and guide you to operate in all of your mental faculties that you were born with, then you are in tune with the good shepherd. And let me say this, the good shepherd would never lead you astray. Neither would the good shepherd fatten itself while the sheep is starving. So when you understand the good shepherd is the power within you, your higher self, your creative self, which is your own human imagination, the creator in man, you will come to also realize why St. John 1 and 3 says that without him, which is speaking of your imagination, there's not anything made that was made, and that all thing was made by him, which is speaking of your imagination, which is God in man. But most religious people believe that him is speaking of a man 2,000 years ago. But that is just a personification of the human imagination. So my brothers and my sisters, many would have read St. John chapter 10 and think it is speaking of a man who existed 2,000 years ago. Because the Jesus story was used to keep people in mental slavery, because there have never been any man who existed 2,000 years ago who had special powers and was doing special miracles. So it's an idol that is given to the masses to be in idolatry, because when you're in idolatry, it's going to keep you in mediocrity and it's going to keep you in limitation. Therefore, the Bible tells you those who keep you in that kind of frame of mind or in that kind of frequency and vibration, they are the hirelings. But he says that my sheep knows my voice, the voice of the good shepherd. That is why those who are vibrating the same frequency with me, they are my sheep. And they would know that I am the good shepherd, because they recognize their I amness also. So the deep calls to the deep, and it takes the deep to respond. So my thought and their thought, they are connected because they are on the same frequency. Because a thought is a vibrational frequency. Therefore, the good shepherd will take care of the sheep first, not wanting the sheep to take care of him first. Now, let us come into the practical, physical for a while. And let us look at the church system, the religious system. I'm speaking especially about Christianity, because that's the religion that was taught to me. So, when we look at these so-called evangelists and apostles and so-called prophets, they are always taken from the people. So they are fleecing the sheep. So while they get fat, the sheep is starving. But look on the other side. Look at those who are bringing the true message of self-realization to our people and pointing them to look inwardly to discover the higher self, or to discover their true identity to be their divinity. Those who are pointing others in that direction, people like me, we do not have anything for them to join. We do not pass a collection bag. We do not use certain scriptures to keep them in fear and tell them that they have to give. We understand the principle of giving and receiving. And we understand that the shepherd must give first to the sheep, and then the sheep will return, because we understand the law of compensation. We understand the law of mentalism. We understand the law of correspondence. We understand as it is within, so is it without. As it is above, so is it below. We understand all of these things. Therefore, we are so sure that we know that when we bring this information to the people who would vibrate on the same frequency, that they would benefit. And when they benefit, then they will return that kindness to us. And I'm speaking from experience. For example, when I start presenting this message of self-realization to the world, I had no idea about YouTube or how YouTube run. I had no idea in my mind concerning money or gain or any such thing. All I wanted was to do was to teach what I would have experienced. All I wanted was to do is to help humanity. That's the reason why you're told that the good shepherd will give you life for the sheep. What is the life? The life have to do with the creative power. Because God is life and life is God. You can't separate God from life or life from God. So when you point people to discover the higher self, the God self, in spite of what the religion and the preachers would have taught them, and all of society is going against you, especially based on where you grew up, then you know that you are the good shepherd who's willing to give your life, who's willing to put your life on the line to teach others the truth, because very few are willing to bring the true message of self-realization to humanity, to teach them that they can create their reality consciously, and that the Bible is a book of secret, it is a book of magic, and that they can use it to create their reality consciously if they will only look inwardly and discover the kingdom to be within themselves. So my brother and my sisters, when you discover the kingdom force by seeking the kingdom force, and when you seek the kingdom force within yourself and not outside of yourself, because the hirelings, they are pointing you to look outside of yourself. But the true shepherd, which is the inner man, for example, it is the inner man in me that is teaching you how to discover the inner man in you. Teaching you that you are a spirit having a human experience. Teaching you that there's only one universal consciousness. Teaching you that we are all connected as one. Teaching you that your brain is a receiver and a transmitter of frequency, and that everything is energy, vibration, and frequency, and that you can vibrate on the right frequency and bring things in your life because you are electrical and magnetic. Therefore, my brother and my sisters, I am pointing you to discover for your own self the good shepherd that is within. And Psalm 4:4 tells you how to discover the good shepherd that is within. That's going to provide for you. They're going to help you to meet all your needs and not to look to any idol outside of yourself. Psalms 4:4 says that you must commune with your own heart upon your bed and go into the stillness. And there are many who would not teach you the way that I'm teaching you. They will tell you, do this 5 minutes before bed. But they will not go in and teach you the finer details, because this same book that I am quoting from was used to keep people in mental slavery by teaching them that this book is secular history and that this book is literal and must be interpreted literally. And that is the deception that the hirelings are using to keep you bound, to keep you from discovering how great you are and how powerful you are. But here I am bringing this truth to you, and I'm saying to you that as I am, so you are also. My I am resonates with your I am. We are all I am. We all have to say I am before we can make a declaration. That's the reason why I'm encouraging you as a good shepherd to get your pen, your paper, and write down your desire, starting saying I am, and you go on and name your desire, claim that desire, and affirm it before you go to bed, and affirm it as you wake in the morning, and affirm it throughout the day, and believe, have faith, because faith is loyalty in the unseen. It is you trusting that which you can't see. And in order to trust that which you can't see, you have to come to the realization that you are a spirit having a human experience, and everything you see outside of you, it was first invisible, being made visible, and it came about by thought, action, and manifestation, and that everything is spiritual, that money is spiritual, that wealth is spiritual, and that health, wealth, wisdom, all these things, they are your birthright, and you must lay claim to them. So my brother, my sisters, when you read of the Good Shepherd, don't think of no man 2,000 years ago. Okay? The Good Shepherd is your own inner man. It is your creative self, your higher self. And that's why I always point you to discover your higher self, your creative self. So, with all of that being said, I believe I would have gotten my message across to you. So let me just remind you that if what I'm saying, if it's resonating with you, it is for you. And if you haven't subscribed already, I'm encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to share, to comment. Just follow your intuition. Also, I want to remind you as usual that this message I bring to you is the single eye message of self-realization, which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And had it been that I would have awakened within myself like a fiery being, and having heard the unearthly wind, and ascend and burst my crown chakra and became invisible, I mean sent to teach you the message of the invisible, I would not have been here. That's the reason why I declare to you, I am the Good Shepherd. And if your I amness resonates with my I amness, then you will prove the same thing, and then you will turn around and say, I am the Good Shepherd. Because you will discover that we are all one, and that the sheep just come or become like the shepherd. So, with all of that being said, and with me explaining to you this message of self-realization according to Matthew 6:22, I'm now going to give you the symbol of the single eye, letting you know that when you have this experience, that you will come to realize it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that the belief in a S-O-N of 2,000 years ago is not true, because there's no S-O-N that can exist without first the S-U-N. And when people call or refer to the S-O-N as in Jesus as the light of the world, it just shows how deceived they are, how delusional they are. But I'm saying to you, my brothers and my sisters, this experience will let you know that it is the rising of the S-U-N in you. And then you will understand why Psalms 84:11 says that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. No good thing would that inner power withhold from you when you connect the sun, the inner sun, and the outer sun. Also, in Malachi 4:2 it tells you that the sun, as in the S-U-N of righteousness, shall arise in you with healing in his wings. I'm saying to you, that rising of the sun in you is an awakened imagination. And you come to realize that without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And without the sun, there's no life and there's no light. And that it is the sun that powers all of humanity. Therefore, my encouragement to you is to look inwardly and use your mind power, which is your creative power, your God power, your solar power, your sun power, to achieve your every desire. And then you will say, truly, I am the Good Shepherd. So that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.